We're back, GenderBlenders, again for another video. So, this week's actual topic, coming out at work, transitioning with coworkers, customers, whatever. And Jennifer has more of an experience here because I never came out at work, really. I'm sorry, really. So, go ahead.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
It's a challenging process. I've learned a lot, and I wouldn't recommend doing it the way I did. I mean, I did it right in terms of coming out at work. They kind of already figured it out and then brought me into an office and said, well, we know what's going on. So it took away the drama of like working up to it, like, oh my God, I'm going to tell my boss, I'm going to tell my manager or whatever. They kind of already figured it out and then just kind of let me in on the secret too, like, oh, we know. So in that sense, it was super easy. The challenging aspect of it was dealing with your coworkers. I work in an office environment, and I actually don't work in the same department now than I did before. I actually transferred departments. And I used to work with a bunch of catty people. And so I think that I was the first time that they had ever experienced something like that, and it showed. So they had a hard time kind of just accepting it and just kind of going on with their lives. There was a lot of gossip at first, a lot of like, oh my God, the whole bathroom issue, of course, because people can't, never mind, don't get me started on the bathroom issue. But I've learned that I probably didn't handle it as best I could as well. I was kind of resentful to them for the fact that they couldn't just get it and deal with it and just like treat me as the girl that I am. There had to be some growing pains, and looking back, I understand that now. At the time, I was kind of angry at them for just making a big deal about it. I was just like, why can't you just deal with it and move on? Just, But looking back, I realized that these people knew me for about 5 years before I actually transitioned. So they had already, gotten accustomed to me as the other way, and that's. They had already, in their minds that they had already formed their opinions about me, their judgments about me, and they had already put it into a nice little box, and then it was just stored on their shelf in their brain, and saying, okay, we've already dealt with that person, and we don't want to have to learn anything about that person ever again. Well, when I transitioned, it was like they had to do extra work in order to actually reconfigure their judgments about me, and people don't like that. People are essentially lazy, and I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean that in terms of our interactions with each other, we're lazy. We take shortcuts. We don't want to have to deal with learning new information about the same people over and over again. So what we do is we kind of, the same way a computer does, where it stores information in a cache and then retrieves that from that cache rather than retrieving it from the initial source. You know what I'm talking about? So our minds work the same way. So basically what I'm trying to say is you got to give people a break. Like, it's going to be hard. It's going to be hard for you. It's going to be hard for them. But you have to understand that they're being exposed to this for the first time, whereas you've been dealing with it for your whole entire life. So to you, it's nothing. It's no big deal. It's just something you're dealing with. To them, it's like, oh my God, what's going on? This is the first time I'm hearing about it, blah, blah, blah. So you just have to give people a chance to actually get accustomed to dealing with you in a certain way, to like thinking of you in the gender that you prefer rather than the one that they met you as. Hopefully that makes sense.
It makes perfect sense. I get it.
So I don't do what I did. I was getting mad at these people for not getting with the program, but in essence, you just have to give people a chance. And they may not have ever dealt with someone that's trans before, and so they don't get it. Whereas you've been dealing with your whole entire life, and it's like second nature to you. So that's my advice is when people use wrong pronouns, they're not doing it on purpose. It's just that they're used to thinking of you in a certain way, and they just haven't been able to reacclimate their image of you to your preferred gender. So I'm not saying it'll be easy. It'll be hard. I was lucky that management was cool, and they were like, oh yeah, we get it. We're down with that. This maybe sounds stupid. But,
no, that's cool.
So it was easy in that sense. The challenge was just dealing with my coworkers, and my only advice to you is that give them a break, because it'll make your relationships better in the long run. Even though it'll be a little bit rocky at first, over time they won't they'll pick up on that resentment that you're giving them, and they'll kind of give it right back at you. So just try and be patient with them.
Very good, very good. I didn't really transition at work, so I don't have a lot to say in that aspect. I mean, I told my coworkers on my last day of work in December that I was transitioning, and they couldn't have been better. Actually, one of them actually told me, like, hey, my brother Luke used to be my sister Karen. So I was like, oh wow, trans brother. So it was really cool. They were all really great with it, and I actually found out that they pretty much already knew, kind of like your bosses knew. They all already knew what was going on before I said anything. So that was that. At school, I didn't tell anybody anything. I just did what I was doing and left it at that. And I haven't gotten any. Last quarter was like my first quarter that I came back being on hormones for a while, and a lot of people that I knew from before didn't even recognize me, and they don't even know that I'm the same person. So that was great. Only one teacher knows, and he was really helpful with me and, you know, telling me what to do with the whole name change process. But all the girls that I talk to now at school, like, they just take me as Adrian. They have, like, even though I've met them before when I was the other way, they have no idea that they're interacting with the same person, which is pretty cool. I don't mind that at all. There's a couple people that know because they, like, I told them flat out, hey, I'm transitioning, and they're all really cool. No mistakes in pronouns or anything. So that's all I got. I didn't really have to do very much in that sense. Cool.
Yeah, I mean, if you have questions, feel free to comment or whatever.
Yeah, she's got some good work experience with transitioning, so if you have any questions, FTM or MTF, please just ask. I'll forward the question to her. You can put it on either here on GenderBlenders, leave a comment below, or my personal channel. And I think you have a personal channel too now, right?
Yeah, but I don't really remember what I did with it, so I don't.
Okay, never mind. Just put the comment here on GenderBlenders, or put it on my personal channel, and I'll forward the question to her because she's got some good experience. Alrighty, so take care, everybody. Have a great week, great weekend, and hopefully we'll be all caught up with our videos now. So later.